All right, welcome back into Indiebnb. Today we are joined by Emily Frembgen out of New York City. Emily, how are we doing today on this wonderful Tuesday?
I'm good. I'm a little sleepy, but that's normal for me. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Excited to be talking with you. Excited to kind of dive into some folky country music here. Obviously it's been I've listened to some of the older stuff and to the newer stuff, and definitely the sounds been adjusted a little bit. So what kind of made you want to change from that strict kind of singer songwriter feel to this more country feel?
I guess I just met more people and had more resources. I was just kind of recording with whoever I could before, and I also realized getting older that you kind of have to invest in the production more if you're ever gonna get anywhere with it, and that it's actually possible to make things sound like they sound in your head. I just used to kind of just stumble upon things and be like, well, that's good enough. And now I actually have recordings that I can show people and be proud of, whereas before maybe it wasn't doing as much justice to the songs as it could have. Although it's still charming to me, those old recordings. I always loved country and Americana.
Really? So are you from originally from like Midwest New York area, or like where's that kind of country roots? Do you think the South when you think country, but like where does it kind of stem from for you?
Really, when I was a teenager, I just got really into the Americana stuff coming out in the early 2000s, kind of by way of like British magazines. But I was in New York at the time. But like there is a big boom with like Ryan Adams and Lucinda Williams and Kathleen Edwards, and all those people really inspired me. But I guess I never dared to actually make that kind of music until a little later. And I'm glad that I do now because there's a good niche for it.
Yeah, certainly the the rise of kind of the non-Nashville feel for country music is definitely imminent, and definitely getting more folky as you see like kind of people like Tyler Childers and Childers and Zach Bryan, people like that get to get bigger.
Yeah.
What do you think, like for you and the you've got a few songs out from the album, two of them that I jumped out to me, Fentanyl, which was released last year, and then Drink Tonight is the newest one. Like for those two songs specifically, like how did you kind of get into those and start to start the writing process there?
Well, Drink Tonight I wrote years ago. It was kind of my first country Americana. Like any song can be that, but it was I met this guy who was a chef, and he was doing an Americana night at the restaurant next to what used to be Brooklyn Knitting Factory, and he wanted to do Americana nights. And at the time I wasn't actually really doing Americana music, but I told him that I was, so I could do the I needed gigs, and also you get free food, so I just kind of learned a bunch of Lucinda Williams songs and just made my sound more Americana country. And I wrote that song as like the theme song to like get people to buy drinks. And I just wanted to write like a fun country song to play because all my songs were super slow and depressing at the time. So that's a really old one. I recorded it on an old album, but we decided to re-record it with this great band I have and great producer Hugh Poole, and I rewrote it a little bit. So that's that one. And then Fentanyl, which I've been informed on the internet I pronounce it wrong. I guess it's fentanyl or fentanyl, but I didn't know that at the time. That's hard to say. I didn't write I had a hard time writing anything during the pandemic, and that was the first song that came out after like 2 years. So it's got the 2 years in it. And I really don't know how that, it just came out like all in one, and it's kind of a weird song, but it's really about the pandemic, and I feel like it's made us all less close. Like there's just like this kind of loneliness that everybody has still. I think that I don't know if we'll ever recover from.
Yeah, I mean, I like your lyric in there. Like, I've spent more time this year in bed than like ever before. I think it's. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but I thought about that, and I'm like, man, I think you might be right. Being able to sleep in and having a little bit different kind of setup with work, and all these different things that kind of played into that. With a song like that, and you've kind of the happy drinking song, kind of a juxtaposition. Like, is the whole album kind of, do you have it flow in a manner like with the track list that it's hey, we start out kind of high and then go low, or do we go kind of low and then high again? Like, what's that look like for the kind of the flow of the album?
I have to look at the I hope it's a full spectrum. I mean, it's a lot of sad, but it's a very cathartic album. My other material has all been kind of relationship breakup-y kind of songs, and this is really digging deep, and there's not really any songs like that except for the last one maybe. But yeah, I think it's a journey, I hope. And I hope people will listen to the whole thing from start to finish, because that's the way, that's the I was brought up on albums, but I don't know if people listen to whole albums anymore. But I think you'll like it.
I love it. Well, you'll be able to find it in the description below. Just click on Emily's name, and it will whisk you away right to her Spotify to stream all of her songs. And if it's not September 13th yet, hold on, follow her, and you'll know when it comes out then.
Yeah, and I'll have my first ever vinyls, which is very exciting.
Nice.
On Don Giovanni.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What for you got the show coming up on the 16th, the album release show. Is that something that's going to kick off a longer tour, or is it a one-off, just to get the album out there, play some songs from it, get people hyped up from there?
I'm going to do a short Colorado tour, which is actually where I'm from. It's only about it's about a week. But that should be fun. I'm playing at Wax Trax Records there, which is where my mom hung out a lot when I was a baby. So there's pictures of me as a baby around the record store. So it's like a kind of full circle moment. And then I don't really have anything mapped out other than I'm going to do South by Southwest again in March, on the label showcase. But hopefully I would like to do a Southern tour again sometime for sure.
Yeah, have you been through here in Atlanta?
Yeah, I did a radio tour for the last album, and we went through there. I love it over there. It's awesome. It's like another world.
Anywhere do you remember where you guys played?
No, I can't remember. I have the worst memory ever. But it was radio stations mostly.
Okay.
I played some venues, but yeah. I didn't know you'd be asking me questions. Gosh.
Sorry about it. Yeah. I mean, I gotta dig in if you got a little hometown cooking here. We always love to hear that.
Yeah. It's beautiful though, for sure.
Yeah. So your Colorado, tour, like that's gonna be a cool experience going back to that, record shop. Like, are you playing your hometown in Colorado? Like, is that your hometown technically from where that's located, or?
Yeah. I was in downtown Denver. It's weird to call it my hometown because I've been here for 25 years. And I don't really have a home there, and it's so different. It's just, I don't recognize most of it, but yeah, it's you can say that. And it's just cool. I wouldn't have thought they'd be selling my records, being a lonely kid in school there. So it is a cool thing.
Yeah. That's going to be a good moment. I'm excited for you on that. That's going to, that's something that's like a culmination of a lot of hard work. So
Yeah.
that'll be a lot of pride. I'm sure you'll feel at that show.
Yeah, I got to make sure to feel that and not be just stressing out about something stupid.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, with you live in New York, you've been there for a while. Like, I mean, the scene there and kind of getting in, and you mentioned earlier you played, to learn some Lucinda Williams songs to help sell some drinks, and really get a the Americana night going. Like, do you have any other experiences like that? On the type of circuit you play there in New York? Like, what kind of stories can you give us from playing around in that city?
Oh gosh, stories. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I've probably over the past 10 years, I've probably played like maybe every week, not counting like the last year. I've just like played everywhere, every little thing. And I played at I was lucky to play a lot at the Sidewalk Cafe a couple years before they closed, and I wish that I had done it sooner. It was a really cool scene. I don't have another funny story, unfortunately. But it took me so long to start playing. I was so scared. I had such severe stage fright, and I was so scared of just like open mics. And then when I finally started doing it, I became a host of this open mic at Pete's Candy Store, and I really wish that I started a long time ago. I would have had such a head start, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. But I'm sure I'll think of some other funny things after this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. All good. Well, I mean, obviously Pete's Candy Store sounds like a pretty monumental place for you. Like, where like is your favorite place? If you had your druthers from the 10 years you've been doing it, like, do you have a place that you're like, man, I would love to go play there again?
Yeah, well, I really loved the old Brooklyn Knitting Factory. That was really yeah. I had that weekly Americana show that then that restaurant closed, and they moved it to Knitting Factory. So I was doing that, and I really didn't know where to play in the city, and I was just kind of making my own. I also worked at a vegan donut shop, and I started a show there, like a comedy music show. So I just put on a show wherever I could, because I just didn't know people, and I didn't know where to play, and I had such weird kind of experiences starting out, just with like weird condescending dudes and stuff like that. But then the Knitting Factory thing, that got my foot in the door, so I was able to play on the big stage, and that was so cool. And when they were closing, asked my friend James there if I could play one more time, and he was like, sure, pick from any of these people you'd want to open for, which is so cool. So I picked Wayne Hancock, who I'm a huge fan of since I was a teenager, and I got to open for him. It was so cool. So you just never know. You just gotta, it's kind of all who you meet and happenstance, and there's a lot of opportunities here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, have you mainly been in that Brooklyn kind of scene? Is the island or Manhattan like also got a kind of a completely different vibe, or like I'm sure you played in both, but like, do you prefer the Brooklyn scene over Manhattan?
No, it just depends on the people. The sidewalk scene that I was talking about was this old anti-folk scene that was huge in the early to mid 2000s. So that's in Manhattan. And I also met Jeffrey Lewis from there, who's really awesome, and he's been like so supportive of my music, and he had a hand in getting me on the label. Yeah, it's just I kind of scene hop. Like, there's just always a new scene of people, and if there's always some kind of weirdness in every little, and then you can kind of just like, all right, I'm gonna move on, and there's always new people to meet here. That's what's so cool about it. I feel like in other cities there's kind of like one or two smaller cities. It's
definitely a little bit different in that, like, there's you don't get the just unlimited amount of people, because there's so many people in one area that like you there's always something new probably happening or popping off.
Yeah.
Well, with that, like for your live set, when the folks who are going to see you at Wax Trax Records, the folks that are going to see you on September 16th at your New York City show, like, how do you create that track list? I like to kind of dive in on the set list and understand, like, is it going to be full band? Like, what's going to be kind of the setup for you?
Look at the set list. What I'm going to do is I've been playing with this new band, their band is The Road to Ruin. They're really awesome. And I'm going to do half of the set with them, and then the other half of the set, the second part of the set with my friend Sean Wiggins, who we do kind of a Dave Rawlings, Gillian Welsh kind of thing. And we've been playing together for a long, long time. So it'll be like the stripped down part. And pretty much I'm just going through the whole album. There's a couple old songs. It's just like whatever. Also, it was supposed to be at Baker Falls, which is the new knitting factory, and now it's at LIC Bar, which is this really cute little place in Long Island City, but it's like a sports bar too. So there's like people there watching football. So I'm picking kind of the more rocking songs, not so much the finger picking. Yeah, it's just kind of what's fun to play in that moment too, for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you definitely want to pick the audio, pick the songs that are going to keep the attention, but also the ones you definitely want to just get out there for, hey, like I want to get people to listen to this and listen to it again and again and again, get it out there and get it in front of folks. Well, with that, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be an awesome, show, and the album's coming September 13th. Can't say it enough. Gonna keep saying it till the end of this thing. But we'll dive into little Pete Peterson's party pack of questions here to roll out and end the night. I'll give you the warning. The last question is, hey, what are 2 bands that we ought to check out that we might not know?
Okay,
so
that I can do. I thought it was gonna be harder question. Thank you for the one.
What do you think we were gonna go with? Like, hey, like, all right, gun to your head.
Yeah. Would you eat a human being or something? I don't know. Think about it.
All right. We're gonna give you the trolley problem of like either change the tracks and save one person, or don't change the tracks and no one, you don't survive. We're not going to do that. We're going to go in this or that. Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. All right, starting now. Emily, cake or pie? All right, she's going cake. All right, salad or soup?
Soup.
She's souping it. Okay. Sunrise or sunset? What are you seeing more of these days?
Sleep at both times, but we'll say sunset.
Saying sunset? Okay. All right. Would you rather hit a home run or score a touchdown?
Home run.
Home run. All right. All right. Night in or night out? What are you having more of?
Night in. I'm getting old.
I hear you. When you do go out, and your jam comes on, are you more likely to hit the robot or the worm?
I would do the worm if I could, I guess.
Worm. All right.
Cliche.
I love it. Guac or queso? Your favorite Tex-Mex
spot? Queso.
All right. Cheesing it up. All right. Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles are more exciting.
Waffles. All right. Coffee or tea with your waffles?
Coffee.
All right. Cafe au lait. Here we go. Dogs or cats?
Oh my God. That's a really hard one. Okay. It just depends on the dog or the cat, but I'm just going to have to say cats by like a hair.
All right. All right. A long-haired cat, perhaps.
Sure.
Dog like. Ninja or a pirate? What do you identify more with?
I guess I'd say a ninja, because pirate stuff is stupid.
All right. Gatorade or Powerade?
I've never had Powerade, so I'll go with Gatorade, but I'm sure it's great.
Toast or bagels?
Bagels, because it's a Jewish thing.
Gotcha. Most of the New York City bands we talk to say bagels.
Mm-hmm. I love toast too.
Yeah. Chips or pretzels?
Pretzels.
Okay. Fries or tots?
I mean, it's a tot. We'll say tots.
Tots. All right. After a long day, TV show or a movie to unwind with?
It's a TV show.
A TV show. Are aliens real?
Yeah, probably.
Is Bigfoot real?
Sure.
Is love at first sight real?
I hope so.
All right. I like that. There we go. And final question of Pete Peterson's Party Pack of Questions. You've made it through. 2 bands that we ought to check out that we might not know.
Paisley Fields.
Paisley Fields.
Yeah.
All right.
Paisley's awesome. And The Road to Ruin.
And The Road to Ruin.
Yeah.
Good plug for her band that will be helping her out on her September 16th set.
It's not because of that, but they're great.
They're a good band, period. I love it. I love it. Well, September 13th, Emily's album comes out. You can check out in the description below. September 16th, if you're in New York City, go check her out. Details will be in her bio here. And Emily, we can't thank you enough for joining us here.
Thank you. Hope to see you in Atlanta sometime.
Yeah, let us know when you come down. We'll be happy to come get a beer and hang out for a bit.
Yeah, some tots.
Yeah, get you some tots. Yeah. We'll do it right.
Right.
Maybe Waffle House. Who knows?
Oh, God.
Get you a real Southern waffle down here.
I would love that so much.
All right, awesome. Well, Emily, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.